Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. So, as my friends at yarnspirations.com, I'm your host Mikey, a pattern by repeat crafter me. This is the Crochet Pumpkin Patch Blanket, and I've been thinking about fall blankets and what we can add to the channel here as some options for this year. So what we have here is a beautiful little granny square that is shaped in the sense of having a pumpkin complete with a little stem. Sarah is ridiculously awesome with this, and I'm so jealous of it, to be honest with you, how she takes the most mundane or ordinary things and just makes it so cute just by elevating it in these small little ways that we can do it with our crochet hook. So on page number 2 is the fun page. You know me and my diagrams, we have that for you here. And I'm going to be teaching you how to do this square. I'm going to leave the assembly for you. I strongly recommend that you use the whip stitch to bring things together in order to sew things. And then the border, I'll just verbally tell you what that is, and then you can do that on your own. So my goal today is just to show you how to do the square and then kick it off for you today. I never mentioned the yarn, but it is Red Heart Super Saver if you wish, and the colors of pumpkin, spring green, and cafe latte. We're going to start with a magic ring, okay? And it also can be adjustable circle depending on your terminology. To do this, I want you to put out 2 fingers and lay them in front and put the yarn in front of your 2 fingers like this. Once you're ready to go, I want you to take the yarn that is leading to the yarn ball and just wrap it around your finger and just turn it over, your hand over, and just cross over like that. You're now going to grab your crochet hook, and there's always tutorials available just for these techniques alone on our channel if you wish. And we have 2 strands that you see here. So we want to go underneath the first strand. Okay, so we're just going to stay to the top side here. And then we're going to scoop this other yarn here that I'm pointing at, and we're just going to scoop and pull it through. And once you scoop to pull it through, you're going to release your fingers out. Okay, so you go in, scoop this one, pull through, and remove your fingers, but just hold things stable. And just with the strand that is leading to the yarn ball, I want you just to chain 1. And now you have your adjustable circle with the 2 strands that you need in order to pull things closed, right? So now we're going to begin the first round, round number 1. In round number 1, we want to chain 2. The chaining 2 is just going to be like this only. So we've already chained 1 to lock it so that it was easier for you. This is the second chain, okay? So don't do any more chains, just keep it like this. In the center of this ring, I need you to place in 16 double crochets. So we're going to count. So we're going to say 1. And when you go into the ring, you need to go over to the 2 strands at all times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, keep on going, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So the chain 2 does not ever count as 1, but you should have 16 of these double crochets starting from the very beginning. Okay, so we ignore the chain 2 and just say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. As much as I'm a regular crocheter, I always like to double count. And what I'm going to do before I do anything is that I want to pull a loop up, and I'm going to grab the empty strand here, and I'm going to just turn it over to the back of it, and I'm going to pull. And this will pull the center closed. Keep pull, pull, pull. And now that just pulled it nice and tight. Once you have that done, you can't just cut that because it'll fall out. So here's my tip for you. I don't ever say this, but I'm thinking about it because I see more and more people complaining about their knots falling out. What I'd recommend is just go in to where that's coming out of and just cause this to go into a knot. Now, in this direction here, I want you just to stay within the stitch work itself and drag it under about an inch or so. Probably less than an inch there. And when you do this, I don't want you to see this needle on the other side. So just stay within the layers on the back side. So you go with once, go back in the opposite direction. And you want it to split the plies. Just don't slam it between strands. Try to get those plies to be split too, because it makes it easier, or it makes it much harder to get out. And then you can cut where this comes out once it's down 3 times. Turn this back over to the good side of the work. As long as the loop was not adjusted, you can just slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet, like that. Let's move on to round number 2. So Sarah likes to do what I like to do in these squares and circles and all that jazz, is that she doesn't like to count the first stitch as a stitch, or the first chain as a stitch, which is great because it means that you won't have a gap space. So you're going to chain 2, that will not count as anything. And in the same one that you're coming out of, and every stitch all the way around, you need to apply 2 double crochets into each stitch. So you got 2 into this one. So this means that there will be 16 sets of 2 by the time you get all the way around, and I'll meet you at the end of this round in just a moment. So once you're coming all the way around, you should count 32 double crochets, slip stitch to the top of the first double crochet, and you still have a perfect circle. Let's move on to round number 3. So in the diagram, the way that it looks for right-handers is that it's over here. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to start here and we're going to do some shaping, and in the base around here somewhere we're going to change our stitch work to have a compression to create the bottom of the pumpkin area, and then we're going to come on back out. So we're going to be doing this on the tops and the bottoms of this compression to kind of squat it in its look. Let's begin. So let's begin by chaining 2. So 1 and 2, and in the first stitch where you did the join, I need you to put in 2 double crochet. The next one is going to be 1 double crochet by itself. The next one is going to be 2 double crochet. If there's a sound change, it's just me looking away at the instructions. The next one is 1 double crochet on its own. The next one is 2 double crochet into the next one. The next one is 1 double crochet on its own. The next one is 2 double crochets into the same one. The next one is 1 double crochet into the same one. The next one is 2 double crochets into the same one. The next one is 1 double crochet on its own. The next one after that is 2 double crochets into the same one. The next one after this is 1 double crochet on its own. To take a pause here, we put 2 into this one, so count the number of times that you've done the 2. There should be a total of 6 times where there's 2 into the same stitch. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And if you can see that you put those 6 stitches have 2, there should be 1 double crochet after it, and now we're ready for the base of the pumpkin. To begin the base of the pumpkin, the next one is going to have 2 half double crochets into the same stitch. The next one is going to be, or actually the next 2 in a row, is the base of the pumpkin completely, and it's 2 single crochets into the same one. The next one is going to be 2 half double crochets into the same one. The next one is going to be 1 double crochet on its own. The next one is going to be 2 double crochets into the same stitch. So like the other side, there will be 6 stitches where there will be 2 of these double crochets sharing the same stitch. So the next one is just 1 double crochet by itself. The next one after this is 2 into the same one. So this is the second time that 2 double crochets are sharing the same stitch, if it helps you to understand it that way. The next one is 1 double crochet by itself. The next one is 2 double crochets into the same one. This is the third time that appears. The next one is 1 double crochet by itself. The next one is 2 double crochets into the same stitch. This is the fourth time that it appears. The next one is 1 double crochet by itself. The next one after it is 2 into the same stitch. This is the fifth time that that appears. The next one is 1 by itself. The next one is 2 into the same one. And this is the sixth time that those 2 double crochets are sharing in the same stitch. And then the next one is 1 double crochet by itself. The last 3 stitches left are 1 single crochet each. And once that's done, you are going to then join to the top of the first double crochet that you started with. And that was that round. So you can see that it has a weird shape instead of being circle, and that's exactly what we're going for. In the fourth round, we're now going to change the color to the background color, which in this case was green. So I'm going to get rid of this color, and right where I'm joined, that's exactly where I want to finish off. So I'm just going to pull through, and I'm going to show you how to weave in the ends now. So this will be for the entire project once I show you one time. So just put in a tapestry needle to the strand, and on the back side, you know how I showed you to go back and forth a total of 3 times? Go back and forth 3 times. So stay on the back side of the work. Never let that needle hit to the good side of the work. And you want to get things locked into position, always a slightly different path. And again, if you break apart the fibers, then it's harder to get out. Nothing's foolproof, but this is a good method. Once that's done, you can cut it, turn your work back over, and we're going to begin the fourth round exactly where we ended with the color green. In the fourth round, the last few here, right here, are going to be the color brown for the stem of this pumpkin. The rest of it's going to be green, but the stitch heights change in the bottom here. So we just have to be paying attention to that, and we're going to start off with a slip knot and put it onto your hook. I'm going to tell you to do a standing single crochet. Okay, so here's where we need to go and join, because that's where we joined, and we're going to do a standing single crochet. So put your hook in and wrap the yarn, pull through, and you have 2 loops, and you were just going to pull through the 2 loops, and that was a single crochet, a standing single. So instead of joining, chaining 1, and doing a single crochet, which always looks a little out of place, we're going to do it this way instead. So this was considered 1 of 18, so I want to count the rest of the 17 that we have left. So we'll continue and just put 1 single crochet into each. So this is 2, 3, go right up over top of your straggler to trap it, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. And as soon as you have your 18, the next 2 stitches, which they are, should be a half double crochet. In these 2 stitches here, what we have to apply is 1 half double crochet each. Then the 2 single crochets that are at the base, they're going to be each 1 double crochet. And now we're going to continue along. So you have 2 half double crochets in a row, and so you're just going to put them each to be a half double crochet. The next 19 stitches, which I want you to count, are going to be a single crochet each. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and 19. Now, I'm not going to finish the 19th one here because we need to change the color to brown. So the remaining 3 stitches have to be available to do that. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to carry this yarn underneath the work. So I'm not going to cut this because I need the green again. And so I'm going to get the color brown ready. So I want to get the color brown ready, and I'm going to create a slip knot. And this last stitch, which is the number 19th one, I'm going to put the slip knot on, and I'm going to pull it through. This is like Grafghan work. And I want you just to bury this underneath the line because we're going to need it when we get here. So it's just a few stitches we need to do with this brown. Starting in the next stitch, we need to put in 2 double crochet. So go right up over top of everything so to trap it underneath. The next one is going to be 1 double crochet by itself. And then the next one, the last one of the round, is going to be 2 double crochet. The brown will be officially done, but what I want you to do to have continuity, see how we got this? Just reverse it back out to the last time you pull through, and I want you to grab the green and pull the green up and use that one to do the attaching to the first, and therefore to look consistent. Before we end here, I want to deal with these loose ends that we're going to have to deal with. So just cut them. And I want to pull them to the back side. And with my tapestry needle, I want to secure both of these strands going back and forth twice, and only secure it in the brown section only. So just in back and forth 3 times in the brown, and this is where I'm going to pick you up in just a moment after that's done, and we'll start the next round together. So let's put the yarn back in your hands and let's tighten it back down, and this will be the last round you have to kind of manically count. The rest of it will come into play really quite easily because we're now going to complete the shaping of this and get ourselves to a square in this round. So let's start off, and we're just going to chain 1, and right where you're sitting, right where you did the join, I need you to put in 1 single crochet. The next one is going to be 1 half double crochet. The next one is 1 double crochet. And then the next one is the first corner that will turn, and it will be 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, all in the same stitch. It's a really easy round. Let's just get ourselves past one side, and then I'll show you how easy it is. So now we're going to do exactly what we just did here about opposite, right? So we're now going to put in 1 double crochet into the next, 1 half double crochet into the next, and now the next 7 single crochets will be by themselves. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and now we're going to head to a new corner. So the next one has to be 1 half double crochet. The next one has to be a double crochet. And now the next one is the next corner. So it'll be 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet into the same stitch. I'll take you through one more side to make sure you got it. So when you come out of a corner, the next one is going to be a double crochet. The next one is a half double crochet. And then how many singles were in a row? Did you say 7? Hopefully you did. So we'll do 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we had 2 new corners, so the next one has to be a half. The next one's a double. And this next one is the corner itself, so 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. And I want you to complete the remaining sides exactly how I just showed. If you need to back up the video, we have video chapters activated on this video so you can see the time markers to back up, and this would be how you would do it. So I'll see you at the end of this round in a moment. So as I'm coming around the final, I'm doing exactly what I know. Ignore the fact that you changed your stitches in the last round. Just keep on going. I have my half I just applied. So I came out of the corner, 1 doubles by itself, 1 half, and then the last 6 stitches are going to be done in this single crochet. So it's 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And why was it 6 instead of 7? It's because we started with a chain 1 and single crochet in the first, and that's where you're going to join it to conclude. Okay, so if you see something like that, you know, chances are you can just kind of move the stitch if you want to, and just kind of move things around and get it to look awesome if that bothers you. And then we're going to move on to the next round in a moment. In round number 6, we're going to go completely around in a granny square format. If you're familiar with that, we're going to chain 3, which will count as a double crochet in this case. And moving to the next one, we're going to apply 1 double crochet in each of the stitches going around. And then in the corners, the chain 2 spaces, you're going to apply a new corner of 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So do that when you hit the corners. So you're not adding really any stitches for counting wise, you're just applying with what you see. And then in the corners, you're just adapting by just putting your 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. So please do this all the way around for this round, and I'll be back in just a moment. So I'm coming up all the way around. On the very last stitch is right here. People think that this lean over is a new stitch, but it's not. So make sure you don't use that, and you're going to join it to the top of the first chain 3. Now we have to change the color to brown. So what I want you to do is cut this color, and I want you to make this so see this, it's kind of bothering me a bit. So what I would consider doing if I were you and you were me is that I would consider just getting a strand of yarn like this. And this may be considered cheating, but I don't care because life is short to play by the rules. And what I would do is come in from the back. I want to pull that green together so it looks like it belongs together. Okay, so I'm just pulling from the back, and I'm going to grab onto this piece here. And I'm going to just go back through the back. And I'm going to look at it, see? It's totally cheating. And what I'm going to do, I kid you not, I'm going to tie this into a knot. And you know how we hide in our ends with taking those loose ends through? I would do the same thing with the loose ends. And then you can get rid of it. So if that really bothers you like it was for me, then just take these ends and just weave them back and forth. It's a few extra moments of time, but then you know that it's going to be dealt with and you'll never see it and it will never bother you. Sorry, the cat box is turning upside down on its own. It's one of those robot ones. They're great if you don't have one, but just so you know. Okay, so once you do that, and I'll do it with the other end, and I'll also weave in this end as well, and therefore it looks better. So that's just my little tip for you. So let's do your final round. It's a nice easy round. The corners are slightly different than what we're used to, but we'll go with it. We'll trust Sarah. So right where I finished, right where I did the join, you see the chain 3, you can see that it stands out. That's where I'm going to join, and I'm going to do a standing single crochet like I did before. Once you pull it through, you'll see 2 loops. Pull through the 2. So you're just going to single crochet in each of the stitches except for the corners, and the corners will be the same information of what you know. Now, I've never seen this done before, but she asked us to put 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet into the corners. So we're going to trust her, right? So we're just going to go in, and I think she's doing that to hold the corners more closely together when they're sewn together, which I think is a great idea. Actually, I might steal this idea in the future. And then, so 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and then you're just going to go back down to the row and just single crochet all the way to the next corner, and then do the same thing with the next corner. So 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. Please do this all the way around, and we'll recap in just a moment. So I'm coming all the way around, and I'm coming right into my last few stitches, and we're going to end this by just slip stitching to the top. So let's talk about the size of this. You're only going to need a total of 20 squares. This is not a major size blanket, but you can add more squares. It doesn't matter because the border will adjust to whatever you want to do. So there's a total of 4 rows of 5, so it's only 20 squares altogether. And then you're just going to put them together with a whip stitch. Now listen, I would do it with the whip stitch in the back loops only when you go to join, so you have an invisible join. I'm going to be explaining just the border in just a few moments and just tell you what Sarah's asking us to do, but I'm not going to demonstrate it today because the goal really is just for this. I find a lot of people decide they want to do their own borders and stuff, so it's just easier just to explain it to you so that you can do your own thing and apply your own magic. So once you have your ends woven in, you're going to turn over and then keep making your squares, and then you're going to join it at the end. So once you have all 20 squares together, you're going to do an invisible join to the back loop only. So when you're looking at the front side of this, you only want to get the loop that is closest to the table, okay, the back loop. And so then this square here will be facing up, and you'll do the back loop on that one as well. So you'll keep it so that it's just that loop, and when you do the whip stitch to join, it'll be pretty much invisible. You'll use the same color, and you'll put all of them together in order to do it like that. If you wish to maybe single crochet them together or anything like that, you can do so. You are the artist at the end of the day. So if you have a better method of putting it together, that's up to you. Once you have everything ready, you're going to go and do your first round with the color C, which is going to be the brown. And all we need to do is that we are going to put in 1 double crochet in just evenly all the way around. And in the corners, I want you to put 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. You'll notice that there is no stitch counts. That's because it doesn't matter. So you can make it as big or as small as you want to and just make it do it that. You're going to end that color at the end of round number 1. In round number 2, you're going to start and you're going to apply 1 single crochet in each of the stitches going around. You see that it's here in orange. And then in the corners, you'll put in, it says 2 single crochet, chain 2, 2 single crochet in each of the chain 2 corners that you will have made in the last round. The very final round here, you'll change the color to the green, that is the background. And in this one here, it's a nice easy way to do it. And it's just 1 single crochet into the next 4 stitches. And then you're going to then do a picot. So you chain 3, slip stitch to the top of that, stitch, and then you just picot it in, and then you put in the next 4 stitches, and you're just going to evenly space it around. In the corners though, what you need to do is 2 sets of those, so you'll have to put in 2 picots in order to make that happen. So it's a nice easy round to do. Some people really don't like picots, so you can decide what works for you. If you prefer just to do a single crochet round, double crochet round, it's up to you, and it's really good. If you are doing the first part of here and you're doing the first border round and you're noticing that it's buckling, meaning that it's starting to kind of pull up on itself because it's not got enough stretch, then it means that you are going too quickly, so you just have to put in more double crochets to prevent it from doing that. But if you're noticing that the blanket is creating a ruffle, it means that there's too many stitches being applied. So make sure that you do watch that first revolution when you do the border so that it does continue to stay flat. And this would be how you would do the Crochet Pumpkin Patch Blanket by Repeat Crafter Me.